Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. According to Sky Sports News, Manchester United have a 4-man shortlist for the next manager. Thomas Tuchel is not included. So the names are Erik ten Hag, Mauricio Pottino, Julian Lopetegui and Luis Enrique. David Ornstein from The Athletic said not so long ago that Man United ideally want to appoint a manager by the end of this month. Now, Erik ten Hag is the favourite to become Manchester United's next permanent manager. Erik ten Hag is ready to leave Ajax at the end of this season. Manchester United are close to agreeing personal terms with Erik ten Hag and are prepared to pay Ajax's required release clause. Edwin van der Sar has said that Ajax are ready to let Erik ten Hag leave for Old Trafford. There's a lot of Manchester United fans that would like to see Erik ten Hag get recommended in. You know, Erik ten Hag is a good manager. You've got to admire the work he's done at Ajax. Erik ten Hag has not yet managed in the Premier League, so it would be very good for him to come and experience the Premier League. You know the news regarding Mauricio Pottino. Mauricio Pottino wants to stay at PSG and he still wants to lead PSG to Champions League success. PSG recently lost 3-0 to Monaco. That's put more pressure on Pottino. Revert back to earlier on this season, it said Pottino was on the verge of being sacked by PSG after PSG got knocked out of the Champions League by Real Madrid. You know, Manchester United are looking for the 5th permanent manager since Ferguson. Manchester United have sacked 4 permanent managers since Ferguson. The managers we sacked since Ferguson was David Moyes, Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, and last year Manchester United sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And Man United are not even really known as a sacking football club. As you all know, Manchester United are considering sacking Ralf Rangnick. Ralf Rangnick has been Manchester United's interim manager for almost 4 months. It initially said that Rangnick is Manchester United's interim manager until the end of the season. Then it did initially say that he's expected to take up a consultancy role for a further 2 years. The consultancy role is now in doubt. Rangnick has lost 4 games in all competitions as Manchester United's interim manager. Revert back to earlier on this season, it said Rangnick wanted the permanent Man United job. Earlier on this season, Rangnick said his aim for this season is for Manchester United to finish in the top 4. I'm very sceptical we'll finish in the top 4 this season. I reckon Arsenal are going to get the top 4. I was hoping we were going to win a trophy this season. Obviously we can't win a trophy now. You know, because not so long ago Man United got knocked out of the Champions League by Atletico Madrid. Man United have not won a trophy for 5 years. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. But revert back to Rangnick, I do think he is a very good coach. Well, he's a German coach. The vast majority of German coaches are very good. You know, there's been good performances under Rangnick. There's also been poor performances as well. Unfortunately, Rangnick did not get backed in the January transfer window this year. You know, Rangnick's endured one transfer window as Manchester United's interim manager. Man United endured a very disappointing January transfer window this year. Before Manchester United, Rangnick was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. You know, Manchester United have not been the same team since Ferguson retired, and like I've mentioned so many times, a lot of United fans predicted it was all going to go wrong when Ferguson retired, which obviously it has done. We've got to accept that no one is going to replicate what Ferguson did at the club. Ferguson, greatest manager of all time. Alex Ferguson brought success to Manchester United because he won 30 odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles, but Ferguson didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. You know, Alex Ferguson was at Manchester United for around 26 years, so reflecting on that, he was a long-serving manager. You know, if it wasn't for Ferguson, you know, we wouldn't have had hardly any success. Because like I've mentioned, we've been inconsistent since Ferguson. And before Ferguson came into the equation, weren't that good because we weren't good under Ron Atkinson, weren't that good under Wolf McGuinness, and we weren't good under Frank O'Farrell. We got relegated under Frank O'Farrell back in the 1970s. Frank O'Farrell died not so long ago. You know, in the last 10 years, Manchester United have spent over 1.3 billion. In the last 10 years, Manchester United have only won 4 trophies. You know, we won the Premier League back in 2013. That's the last time Man United won the Premier League. And we won the FA Cup under Louis van Gaal. And we won 3 trophies under Mourinho. And them 3 trophies were the Europa League, the EFL Cup and the Community Shield. And we've brought a lot of players in since Ferguson. And let me put into the equation, Rangnick is inheriting players who other managers have brought in. So none of this squad is Rangnick's. The Glazers, you know, they still own Manchester United. The Glazers have owned Manchester United for around 16.5 years. The Glazers bought the club for 500 million back in 2005. And the Glazers need to go. You know, they've been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. Don't forget, earlier on this year, Richard Arnold got appointed in as a new chief executive. You know, he replaced Ed Woodward. It was good news from a Man United perspective that Woodward stepped down earlier on this year, because Woodward was one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. Ed Woodward was Manchester United's vice chairman for 17 years. As you all know, Old Trafford could be demolished as Man United look to upgrade the stadium. Man United have played at the same stadium for 112 years. We're looking to increase the capacity to around 80,000. At the moment, Old Trafford holds around 75,000. Old Trafford isn't a static stadium, even though it's old. You know, Old Trafford is the second biggest stadium in England. Obviously, Wembley is the biggest stadium in England. So we're looking to rival with Wembley. You know, Manchester United have got a lot of good players, but there's also inconsistent players in the team as well. So we've got the best player in the world overall in Cristiano Ronaldo. As you all know, AS said not so long ago that Ronaldo has no plans to leave Manchester United this summer, so he's willing to see out his contract. Ronaldo's contract at Manchester United expires next year. There's an option of a further year. Ronaldo is the highest earner at Man United at the moment. He receives almost £500,000 a week. Not so long ago, Ronaldo held crunch talks with his agent George Mendes over his Man United future. And he said Ronaldo threatened to quit following his Derby Day absence. You know, Ronaldo did miss the 4-1 defeat to Manchester City at the Etihad due to a knock. Ronaldo did get a hat-trick in the 3-2 win against Tottenham. It was his first hat-trick since he re-signed for the club, and he became the highest scorer in football history. Ronaldo scored 18 goals in all competitions since he re-signed for Man United, and he's got over 800 goals in his career. Manchester United re-signed Ronaldo last summer for 20 million with add-ons included, and he wears the number 7 shirt. And he's won over 30 trophies in his playing career, including 5 Ballon d'Ors. Anthony Elanga, got to give him credit. He's done really well since he broke into our first team squad. You know, Elanga has been part of the club for a long time. He came up our academy, he joined Manchester United's academy at the age of 12, and now he's 19, so he's still young. Earlier on this season, Rangnick said that Anthony Elanga was close to leaving Manchester United. Don't forget, Elanga came off the bench and scored a late equaliser against Atletico Madrid in the last 16 of the Champions League first leg, and he scored in the 4-2 win against Leeds. He wrapped that game up. Earlier on this season, Elanga got racially abused on social media after he missed a decisive penalty against Middlesbrough in the FA Cup. You know, Elanga has got a contract with Man United till June 2026. There's an option of a further year. Jaden Sancho, he's really good now. You know, we're starting to get the best out of him, which is good news from a Man United perspective. Jaden Sancho didn't settle in straight away at United. You know, he did enjoy a bad start to his Manchester United career. Revert back to when we had Solskjaer, we couldn't get the best out of Sancho because Solskjaer persistently played him out of position. There was quite a few games Sancho didn't even play in under Solskjaer. Sancho did enjoy 4 good years with Borussia Dortmund before he signed for Man United. Man United signed Sancho from Dortmund last summer. We paid 73 million up front, with the add-ons included it was 78 million. And Sancho's got a contract with Man United until June 2026 as an option of a further year. Juan Mata, don't have a perception on him anymore because obviously Juan Mata doesn't get in the team. Mata lost his place in the team a while ago. Mata has been at Manchester United for 8 years. He's had a good career at the club. We got him from Chelsea back in 2014 for 37.1 million. Mata will leave Man United in the summer. He's out of contract in the summer. Jessie Lingard, he's not good enough to represent the club well. Jessie Lingard doesn't get in the team anyway much. Lingard has been part of the club for a long time. He came up our academy in that. He'll leave Man United this summer. He's out of contract in the summer, but like I've said so many times, he should have left in January, but Man United blocked his exit. Don't forget the second half of last season, Lingard enjoyed a 4-month loan spell with West Ham and he made an impact. You know, we got Marcus Rashford. He's a good player overall. Rashford has enjoyed a lot of poor games this season. I don't think Rashford's been the same player since he had that operation on his shoulder. Rashford missed the first 2 months of the season with that shoulder problem. He also had a minor leg injury earlier on this season. You know, Rashford could be leaving Man United this summer. He has been subjected to transfer speculation. Samuel Lucker said not so long ago that Barcelona are interested in signing Rashford. Real Madrid have been in for him before. PSG have been in for him and Atletico Madrid have been in for him. Fabrizio Romano was close to United, said earlier on this season that Rashford's considering his future at Man United as he's concerned about his lack of playing time. Rashford was recently dropped from the England squad. Rashford's contract at Man United expires next year. You know, he has been part of the club for a long time. He came up our academy in that. He's been a United player since the age of 7 and he broke into our senior squad back in 2016 and since then he's gone on to make nearly 300 appearances in all competitions. Edison Cavani, he's also a good player as well. Scored some good goals for Man United as Cavani. Cavani will leave Man United this summer. He's out of contract in the summer. As you all know, he's been linked to a move to La Liga and he's been linked to a move to Brazil. Manchester United got Cavani on a free transfer from PSG back in the summer of 2020. Earlier on this season, Cavani had a groin injury. He's endured quite a few injuries since he signed for the club. You know, we've got Bruno Fernandes. He's one of our best players and he's certainly one of the best signings we've made since Ferguson retired. He's had a lot of poor games this season, Fernandes, to be honest with you. I thought he was far superior last season to how he has been this season. Fernandes has been a Manchester United player for over 2 years now. Manchester United got him from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. Earlier on this season, Fernandes rejected a new Man United contract offer. It's said Bruno Fernandes' contract talks are postponed until the summer, having turned down an offer last year. He said at the time Fernandes was demanding similar money to the top earners at the club. You know, Fernandes receives £100,000 a week at the moment and he's under contract with Man United until 2025. There's an option of a further year. Matic, he's not good enough. Matic isn't one of our first choice midfielders, but despite that, he's still being given his opportunities. Matic is the only predominant centre defensive midfielder Man United have got at the moment. Matic will leave Man United this summer as he's out of contract this summer. Matic has been at the club for over 4 years. Manchester United got Matic from Chelsea back in 2017, got him for £40 million. Fred, he's another one. He's not good enough to represent the club, even though Fred has had his good games at United, especially under Ralph Rangnick. Fred has played a hell of a lot of games alongside Scott McTominay in the centre midfield. Fred and McTominay do not complement each other in the centre midfield. Man United got Fred quite a few years ago now from Shakhtar Donetsk. Got him for £50 million. And Scott McTominay, he's not good enough to represent the club. He has had his good games at United. And I said earlier on this season that McTominay had been one of our best performers under Ralph Rangnick. McTominay's been part of the club for a long time, came up our academy, revert back to 2020, he signed a 5-year contract with Man United. Paul Pogba. Pogba is a good player. He's not only a good player, he's an imperative player as well. Pogba's had these good games this season. Earlier on this season, Pogba was out with injury for a while. Well, he's endured quite a few injuries since he signed, or should I say, since he re-signed for the club. So he is injury prone. Pogba will leave Man United, I think, this summer. Well, he's out of contract at Man United in the summer. Not so long ago, Pogba's trainer claimed that Pogba wants to leave Old Trafford, and I've been hearing that Pogba is interested in a Juventus return. Well, he did endure 4 good years with Juventus before he re-signed for Man United. And the Telegraph said earlier on this season that Paul Pogba was open to Premier League offers if he leaves Man United this summer. Don't forget, it got revealed during Manchester United's game against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League last 16 second leg. Paul Pogba's house got burgled. Manchester United paid £89 million for Paul Pogba, so reflecting on that is our most expensive signing at the moment. Alex Telles, he's a good left back. He's been very impressive under Rangnick. Alex Telles is our first choice left back under Rangnick. Do you think Telles will leave Man United this summer? Because he has been subjected to transfer speculation before. Man United got Telles from Porto a couple of years ago now, got him back in 2020, got him in a deal worth, 15.4 million with add-ons included. The reason we brought Telles in was to provide competition for Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw, he's a good left back overall. Shaw, though, has endured a lot of poor games this season. He's been nowhere near as good this season as he was last season. Shaw had a few injuries earlier on this season. Well, Shaw is injury prone, which is a concern. Shaw's been at Manchester United now for around 8 years, so reflecting on that, he's been a long-serving player. His contract at Manchester United expires next year. One of our centre-halves is Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire is certainly not good enough to represent the club. Man United will look to sell him in the summer. I can't understand how Harry Maguire is still Manchester United captain. A hell of a lot of United fans have been demanding for the captaincy to be taken off him. Prior to the City game at the Etihad, Maguire was upsetting his teammates in the dressing room. Man United players questioned Harry Maguire's place in the team. Since Maguire came to the club, he's endured quite a few injuries as well. He's been at Man United over 2 years now. Manchester United paid £80 million for Maguire, so he's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment, and he's the second most expensive signing at the club, behind Paul Pogba. We've got Raphael Varane. He's a very good centre-half. Varane needs a world-class centre-half alongside him at Man United. Varane has not got a world-class centre-half alongside him, because Maguire's not good enough, like I say. Lindelof isn't good enough either. Bailly's good, but he's injury-prone, plus he doesn't really get in the team now. But most of the time when Varane plays, he seems to make the difference. He is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. He's highly experienced and he's got a good pedigree behind him. Look at the amount of silverware Varane won when he was at Real Madrid. You know, Man United signed Varane from Real Madrid last summer. Paid 34 million up front. It initially said it rises up to 41 or 42 million with add-ons. He's got a contract with Man United until 2025. There's an option of a further year. And Varane's had a few injuries since he signed for the club. You know, we've got Eric Bailly, like I've just said. He's a good centre-half, but he's injury-prone and he doesn't really get in the team. Victor Lindelof, not good enough. Lindelof's been at the club for around 4.5, 5 years now. Man United got Lindelof from Benfica back in 2017, got him for 31 million. Phil Jones, he's still at the club. I'm expecting Phil Jones to leave in the summer. He was close to going out on loan to Bordeaux in January, but Rangnick said he was happy for Phil Jones to stay. This season has been Jones' 11th season at Man United, so reflecting on that, he's been a long-serving player. He's been with us since the Ferguson era. Phil Jones' contract at Man United expires next year. Diego Dalot, he's impressed me under Rangnick. Well, Dalot is our first choice right back under Rangnick. Do you think Dalot will leave Man United in the summer? Because he's been subjected to transfer speculation before. Last season, Dalot had a loan spell with AC Milan. Reflecting on that again, some experience. And Manchester United got Dalot from Porto. Man United paid around £19 million for him. Brought him in under the Jose Mourinho era. Dalot's contract at Man United expires next year. We've also got Wan-Bissaka as well. He's not good enough to represent the club. You know, Man United may look to sell him in the summer. Bissaka's no longer our first choice right back, is he? Our first choice goalkeeper, David De Gea. You know, De Gea is regarded as one of the best goalkeepers in the world. This season he's been absolutely sensational. Our second choice goalkeeper is Dean Henderson. He's a good keeper but doesn't get in goal much because De Gea is number one. He reclaimed that number one spot back last summer. Henderson's only made 3 appearances this season. We've got Tom Heaton. Tom Heaton is our third choice goalkeeper. He's just a backup Tom Heaton. We got Tom Heaton on a free transfer from Villa last summer. And you know, I think Lee Grant's still at the club. And Mason Greenwood, he was a good player for Man United when he was playing. But obviously, earlier on this season, he got suspended. Didn't he? So there you go. Manchester United's next game is Leicester. That is on the 2nd of April. So now guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. And take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.